Welcome to another Tableau tutorial video. I'm Weston Palmer. If you find these videos helpful, consider supporting me through Patreon. Alright, on a previous video we brought this up. This is showing the start date and the end date for various projects. And I was thinking, hey, I'd like to see this. It looks good, but the bars would help tell the story. So I was going to come over here with project details. And for that, we're going to use a Gantt chart. So I brought the project name over, and we're going to bring over the project, the actual start date, and we're going to bring over the actual duration under size, and then we're going to change this to a Gantt chart. And that gives us what we were looking for. I'm going to actually change that to days. That's more of what I was looking for. But then I thought, you know, it'd be cool if I could put the triangles. I don't know why, but I just like the look of it. So I thought, all right, I've done that once. Just come over here. We're going to bring the date over. So we have to create the linking is what that error message. I probably scanned through it too fast, but now the datas are blended. This is data blending. And going through here, let's see here, the day. We want to change this to a shape like we had on the other one. And get rid of this because we don't want it to be on size. And we're going to merge them together using a dual axis. And then we're going to synchronize. You have to still synchronize when you have it on date. And now this isn't looking like I was expecting. We've got all the dates lined up on 1900. And when you hover over them, day of date is asterisk, and you say, oh, that's because you didn't bring over the milestone itself, and so there's multiple milestones and Tableau can't process it. So bring the milestone over to, let's bring it over to shape, and there's still, it's all one item, and it's still giving me an asterisk. When you're blending data, Tableau only can bring one value from your blended table into your visual. So in the milestones, we have 4 milestones, most of the case, for each project, and Tableau just doesn't know how to handle that. If it was numbers, right, if it was, you could sum up sales or sum up quantity or take an average of price, it could do that just fine. But it gets a little bit confused if you had multiple project names or multiple anything else. It gets confused and just says, hey, I can't process that. It gives you an asterisk. So how are we going to handle this situation? Well, the way we're going to do it, pulling everything off, I want to make sure we get this, uncheck that. I want to make sure that this milestone doesn't have a little indicator that it's being used. So that was data blending. We're actually going to go and do work on the logistical tables. This is something you're all familiar with this view here. When you're bringing, now we're going to bring the milestone over and you'll see that little link. In previous versions, 2018, those were physical joins, left joins. And now these are logical tables as it says. Let's just make sure it's item and item. And what this means is Tableau is now smart enough to look at the logistical table and say, okay, does the user want to consolidate all the dollars together or all these items together, or does it want to keep it individual, in this case, individual milestones, and then processes that accordingly. So now let's go back to the worksheet. If we scroll down, we've got our milestones and dates. So let's bring date over. And then we're going to have to change that to day. And we're going to have to come over here and dual axis. I thought I had, yeah, there we go. Dual axis. And then we're going to need to synchronize. So everything is kind of lined up. And we don't see a lot of difference here. And that's because it's basically giving us the same thing. We got to pull the, we don't want the Gantt chart, so we're going to pull that off. We're going to pull off the measure names. And we're going to change this to shape. And we're going to bring the milestone under shape. And so now we need to come in here and assign it. Oh, I always make that mistake. Okay, plan start, plan finish are going to be open, and solids are going to be actual. All right, so now we've got those different shapes, and let's actually come in here. Oops. I'm going to bring milestone again. We're going to drop that on color because I want to differentiate between the plan. Actuals are going to be darker blue, lighter blue for the plans. And you can see that this is a little bit, it's hard to see. For one thing, we're going to switch it around so we have the actual shapes are on top, so that helps. Now we're going to go back to the Gantt chart, pull off the measure names. We're going to just do solid color here. We're going to do a light blue, and then we're going to add some opacity so it's a little bit lighter. And you can start to see some information. You can see the way you would read this is that this project was supposed to start on January 16th. It started on March 8th. It was supposed to only take this long, but it actually took almost twice as long as it was expected. I thought there was one in here that actually finished ahead of time. Okay, here's one that looks like the plan date and the actual start date might be right on top of each other, so it'd be tough to see. And it looks like it finished just the actual start or finish date was December 4th. It was supposed to be done on December 18th. Now, see, here's a big one there too. These are, it says in the data table itself, it says actual or forecasted. So when you're working with your client, you'll get a better feel of that. They were looking for some other filters, so we're going to just do it on a couple of these items here. And project status. And now they can filter by dollars or whatever. So that's one of the ways you can get around blending, is to use the logistical tables. And in most cases, I'm finding that that's more useful, gives you a lot more flexibility than just data blending. Hope that helps. Stay tuned for more in the series. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when new videos are released. Check out some of these other videos I think you'll find helpful.